Hello, all my blessed sinners and saints. Today we're going to be talking about the Bradley sisters. There was four girls in the family, and two of them went missing on July 6, 2001, at the Lake Grove Village Apartments, third floor. Um, there was a voicemail around 8:30. We'll get to that. The mom called about 7 or 8, but there's also Netflix, and I watched it. So I took most of my info and other resources, and go from there. Bradley leaves her at home while she goes to work. She returns to find a note saying that the girls had headed to the store and then for the school, but they never made it back home. So she calls the Chicago Police Department. There's a massive investigation by air, water, and along the railroad tracks. It's actually one of the largest manhunts in the city of Chicago that ever had in 22 years. Five lead detectives, several of them had died since the girls disappeared, and since 9/11 crisis and a major pandemic, and yet Diamond and Tianda Bradley are still missing. From the very beginning, there were elements to this story that just did not seem right with the community of the south side of Chicago. From the understanding, there is a great deal of suspicion against the mother. Hey, Black Widow. I know I'm 18 a couple of times. Um, when I go to buy cigarettes, they kind of don't even look at me no more. But the mother had went to work, and his name is actually George Washington, was her boyfriend. They've been together about 9 years, and she really, really loved him. And he took her to work and left the 10-year-old and the 3-year-old in the apartment together for the 10-year-old to watch the 3-year-old. And then the other two were taken to their grandma's for some reason. And they were 12 and 9. And so altogether, let me give you the names. There's Rita that was 12, Tianda that was 10, Victoria that was 9, and Diamond that was 3. And so when the mom came back, she found the note. Um, and it just didn't make sense that this 10-year-old was going to walk such a way. Let me share the screen. Hope everybody's doing well. I need to run this slow. This is a newspaper clipping from where the girls went missing. But there was a voicemail that the aunt has, but she says she can't access it and she's afraid to lose it, so she won't let nobody hear it. That was at 8:30. So the door was at the door, and should they let him in? And supposedly Victoria's. This is the little girls. This is this is age enhancement that they would look like. Um, but was going to go get Victoria a birthday cake. Her birthday was the next day. They had been camping. Only going to take Tianda and Diamond. So what were they going to do about the other child's birthday? It didn't make sense. So George Serenus that they knew that lived in the apartment, so they figured out which one. And the mother, her story of the 50 pages that I have is, I'm sit down. but changes and says that she didn't come back home. She called about 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock to check on them, and nobody answered. First of all, if you would leave or 3-year-old, 10-year-old to watch a 3-year-old, and they didn't answer, suspicious, and it don't make sense. If I just don't get it. I can't wait. I'm telling you right now, in that have an older homes, got that many more years, but they couldn't figure out George was at the door. But these little girls went missing and was never seen again, and it's actually 22 years, a little over 22 years that they have been missing. And there's a girl that is down, and let me show you more pictures of these children. This is the mom, and it was George Washington. More age enhancement photos. These girls, please contact the Chicago Police Department. This is the lady that came from. She's a detective. She kind of went to try to find out that the mom had lied and not come home that, and she didn't come back home till like 11 o'clock. The 10 and 3-year-old there to defend themselves. Honestly, the way that the mom and stuff acts, that was evolved, and the aunt was talking about putting her out because she was so mad. This was the house, and this is be the school they walked to. Now, a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old. Not saying it's possible, just saying it's not probable. This the aunt. She's the one that has the voicemail, but scared to lose it or something. I don't know. Detective again, standing in front of the mural. Like, it makes me wonder what would have happened if these hungry. I mean, time and you could put some cereal, something in a bowl in the refrigerator thing, but I just don't see that happening. I don't know. Every balloons, grandma is pistol. Um, Everybody thinks that the mom had more to do with it than she was saying. Not that she did anything, but just the fact that it was this George. This rendering. This is 11-year-old and a 3-year-old at home, and find some more information here without having to read 10,000. So they had a wonderful 4th of July. They all had it for Diamond. And Diamond had a different color. It was very outspoken and mature for her age. Asked the family more about George Washington, and let's talk a little bit about the relationship, dating him for 9 years. she didn't um, like George. She was in love with George. Never seen her so happy when she was with George. The time we probably been with George, because I guess he was around. Find out he was the father, had a girlfriend or a wife, so that put a damper on things, and I don't think that he wanted Then there was another child born after that was his. And talking about the George Senior, it said another thing, Nancy, just because girl said that Hey George is at the door doesn't necessarily mean Washington at the door. Somebody may have presented themselves as George. George the name, a very name that the girls would have called him, and they would have called him George Senior. Or two by the family Portia. We never Portia joined by the misunderstanding. Whenever she was at work, he wouldn't have been by there. George Senior was looking for Keith. He used to babysit them, and there's always that speculation. What if something was going on or any burner missing? It's this craziness. Uh, wanted to discuss the inconsistency in her story that has come to light. I've to know what Tracy doesn't want to say, what she is afraid to say about the evening of the 5th, because they had a good 4th of July. And then on the 5th is that night is when they went missing. So technically the 6th. Hey, how are y'all? And said the evening of the 5th, on the night when he said, talking about another time after midnight, you do want to go to George Washington's house. He didn't let the kids come there, obviously, because he had another woman. I'm not looking you. You're the only one. But the mom said that she come home about 11 o'clock. Children were gone. She found the note. Because she's trying to say that she come earlier. She didn't. Finally, it came out the truth that she spent. This means that the girls were on the evening of July 5th all the way through July with no supervision. Simple that has been her story all along. Yes, now part of the problem, we can't establish some sort of timeline. What time did all of this occur? We don't actually know because of her life. Now that after 22 years has been distorted, and she at first. And then there's a girl in Texas that's saying she could be young, and she print and she done and it still has not yet. So I don't know. I'm gonna kill that. So we're still waiting to see if this is Diamond or not. Supposedly she has a scar like Diamond. Supposedly she resembles her. She has birthmarks, all this stuff. So again, we're still waiting to see if this is really her or not. I kind of wanted just to cover this a little bit. There's so much that's involved in it, but it all leads down to they still don't know who did it, or they have no idea where these children went. And like I said, if you see any of these children, please call the Chicago Police Department and let them know. There is aged enhanced photos on here, so you can go back and look at them. I just wanted to jump on here and do a live stream real quick. And I've got another big case coming up, but I'm still waiting on permission to use some slides. Actually, kind of vital to it, so we'll see how that plays out. And don't forget, the third level of spooky stories is coming up. I actually might want to start it early because I've got some stuff going on and I want to start it early. But when you get into 31 days, you want to make sure you got content. But thank y'all for joining me. I really do appreciate it, Jackie, Black Widow. And I will talk to y'all later. Thank you again.